guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Obirochia here. I'm continuing What If Naruto was banished from the Hidden Leaf Village. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start as Naruto had left the Tide Village going to the Kage Summit. So as Naruto then arrived at the Kage Summit, as all the Kages were there, the Kazekage, Mizukage, Raikage, yeah, all of them lot were there. So then as Naruto then sat down and he had his two guards with him, as his guards were his most trusted Anbu which he had with him. So the Anbu had masks on in order to conceal their identity, but they had one had red hair and one had blonde hair. So you guys, I think you're gonna know where I'm going with this. So technically, Naruto managed to unlock the Rinnegan as he was training with the elders. So Naruto brought his parents back to life. Yeah. So Naruto's parents are also gonna be in this. So Naruto then took his parents to the Kage Summit with him, as he knew that he could just teleport out of there if things got too hasty. So as Mithun stood up and said, "We welcome all Kages. This meeting is to discuss the coming back of the rumors of the Tide Village." So Naruto then began to talk, and Naruto then said, "Oh yes, I am the Kage of the hidden Tide Village in the place where the old Uzumaki village used to be." Naruto said, as all the Kages were shocked, and Naruto said, "And yes, I am the leader of the village and the Uzumaki clan is still there." All the Kages were in shock, but how? "We destroyed you during the Great Shinobi War." And Naruto said, "Oh yes, you destroyed us during the Great Shinobi War, but you destroyed a small number of us. The greater number of us is still there, and we've been immobilizing ever since, and we've put a cloaking seal over our village to make it look like it was in ruins. But technically our village has always been there, even after Konoha didn't come and help us." Lady Tsunade was beyond shocked, as she was in shock that the village hidden in the tide was still there and Uzumakis were also there. Mithun then said, Lord Otto, Lord Uzukage, can your two guards take off their masks?" Naruto then said, "Very, very well," as he then gave a sign for Minato and Kushina to release their masks. So when Minato and Kushina released their masks, everyone was in shock. "Minato, Kushina, for the Kage!" The Kage screamed, as Lady Tsunade was in shock. But how? Naruto then began chuckling. "You think after you banished me from Konoha, I didn't have things to do?" Naruto said, as Naruto then removed his Kage head, showing that it was Naruto this whole time. Lady Tsunade said, "Naruto, how?" As Lady Tsunade, Kakashi, and Sasuke were in shock to see that it was Naruto who had been the Uzukage. Naruto then said, Yes, it's me, Naruto." Naruto said, "Yes, but how I made it Kushina back to life?" And then they all said it was all Naruto. And Naruto then activated his Rinnegan. As everyone was in shock. "The Rinnegan, of course," they said to themselves. And I said, "Yes, the Rinnegan. That's why I brought them back to life. And I told them everything about how you banished me, the savior of your village. If it wasn't for me, that whole village would have been in smoke. And to think all this time I did not release the Ninetales to destroy the village." Naruto said, is Tsunade and Kakashi and Sasuke were shivering at the fact. So after the surprise reveal, Naruto and the Kages began discussing alliances. So Naruto then allied himself with the Sand Village, Iwa, and the Raikage's village, Kumo, and Kiri as well. But he did not ally himself with Konoha, as he now hated Konoha for banishing him and treating him bad all this time. So we cut to the end of the Kage Summit, as Naruto was then returning back to his villages. Tsunade then said, Naruto, stop. Naruto then started to look at it and said, oh, Lady Tsunade, what do you need? Naruto is Lady Tsunade then said, Naruto, you're coming back with us to the Hidden Leaf village. Your banishment has been lifted, so we can join our both villages and make them one village. Naruto said, grinning evilly. And Naruto then said, no, I'm not joining my village with you. I don't care if you lift the banishment on me. I no longer care for the village anymore, Naruto said. As Lady Tsunade, who was now in shock that Naruto no longer cared for the Leaf village, Naruto then continued to go as Kushina and Metro were by his side. They haven't said a thing since the Kage meeting. As Minato and Kushina stand to Lady Tsunade, and then they just looked at her with utter disgust in their face. This then said, Minato, you're supposed to come back to the village and become the fourth Kage so we can continue the plans of conquering the world. Minato then said, oh, those foolish plans that dance has instilled into you. Sorry, but I'm not coming back to the Hidden Leaf village. I no longer have love for it as you treated my son like garbage, Minato said. Tsunade was in shock, and then she turned to Kushina. Kushina, are you also with them? And Kushina then went, yes, I'm with my Sochi. I love my son too much, and what you did to him is unacceptable. So I'm going to be with him. So Naruto then started walking as they then disappeared in a yellow flash as they were now back at the village. Time skip 8 days later as Lady Tsunade was back in Konoha council room. Naruto then Naruto was in his office discussing war plans, just in case Konoha decided to do something stupid, as Naruto did not want to attack the village, but if it came to West, he would do it for the sake of his own village. Back to the council room in Konoha. Lady Tsunade then told the council how Naruto became the Otokage of the village, the Uzukaze of the village, is how Minato and Kushina were alive. Everyone in the council was shocked that Naruto was the son of Kushina and Minato, and the council demanded that Naruto come and led Konoha into his village, join and become one powerful village and rule the elemental nations. Danzo was also there, was grinning madly like a madman. So if I manage to take over the Whirlpool village, I then have 2 villages under my control in the Uzumaki clan. I can easily take over the world, Danzo said, grinning. So Danzo then signaled his Andumen and gave them a mission to go to Uzu, the land of the Uzumakis, to scout out Naruto's village and see how strong their defense was. So Konoha started making war plans to go to war with Naruto's village. But suddenly, a small poof appeared in the council room. Naruto, who was standing there, Naruto then said, so I see you're making war plans to attack my village. Very well. I hereby declare the fourth great shinobi war on you, Konoha, Naruto said as he then disappeared. As Naruto then went back to his village and told everyone that he declared the fourth great shinobi war on Konoha. So Naruto then told his barrier core to put up the barrier, as the barrier had then been put up. So the barrier was practically impenetrable even if you had the Rinnegan, Sharingan and other doujutsus, but only a Seal Master who was beyond a master could take down the barrier. So as this was going on, everyone was, the Uzumakis and the rogue shinobi who had not yet gathered, were also training Naruto's village. They were preparing for war. Naruto, who was also there, then went into his mindscape and started to talk to Kurama. So Kurama then said, Naruto, there is a person who wants to meet you. And Naruto then saw the Sage of the 6 Paths. So the Sage of 6 Paths then came out and greeted Naruto and said, oh, hello, my descendant. It seems like my son is reincarnated into you. Naruto was shocked by this, but then bowed and said, hello, old man Sage. As the Sage then laughed and chuckled at this, as Naruto and the Sage began to talk about how this world, as the Sage then told Naruto about Kage and everything, the 10 tails. So Naruto, who had a look on his face, then said, so how can I stop it? Naruto said, oh, it's pretty much easy. So this is where the Sage is going to, like in my story, it's going to go slightly different. Guard the other tail beast and summon the 10 tails and become his Jinchuriki. The Sage said to Naruto, as you have the Rinnegan and my power you can manage to control the tentacles. And also be careful of my mother's will, like Setsu. She will also come and attempt to revive her. As the sage said, Naruto who then noticed this, and then as the sage then said, Naruto then asked the sage, am I supposed to take the beaches away from the Jinchuriki? The sage then nodded as he gave Naruto his power. Naruto's Rinnegan then flashed as its intensity, the purple color, increased as it was now brighter than ever. As Naruto's hair also had turned white and had horns sticking out of his head. Naruto then grinned at this as he went out of the steel, as he then started walking around his village minding his own business. Back in Konoha, everyone in Konoha was planning war plans on how to attack the Konoha village. So every other village had cut ties with Konoha, including Snow Country. So back to Naruto's village, Snow Country is asking for an alliance. Minato said as he was Naruto's secretary and person in charge of his military, and Naruto's grandfather was also there. So Snow Country was also near the Walpo village. So Naruto then said, instead of Snow Country asking for an alliance, why don't we just merge the Hidden Tide village and Snow Country into a village, as I have the power to increase the vast land. Is Minato then flashed away as he appeared in front of the princess. I think it's Kyoki, I believe. So I think the sheep in this what if might be Naruto X Kyoki, the princess of Snow Country in this one. So Naruto then walked to the edge of his village as he then started to make hand signs. Earth release, land growing, land eruption. Naruto said this land is under the ground. Its land started to form which connected Snow Country and Naruto's village. So as the land was now complete, they then set up a small border which was supposed to be there to give clearance to people to enter both places. So Naruto in this is also gonna get the technology from Snow Country, including those airships and everything, the technological advancements. So time skip, Naruto and Kuyoki at Naruto's palace. Yeah, so the Uzumakis had built a palace for Naruto in honor of Naruto restoring their village and helping out. He was now the Kage of the village. So time skip there. Naruto and Kyoki were discussing alliances and everything, as Naruto then told Kyoki about the alliances he had and the upcoming war with Konoha. So Kyoki then decided to provide Naruto with the different weapons that Snow Country had come up with, which were guns, improved chakra, bombs, and everything. So guys, I'm gonna end this right here. I have to work on what if Naruto was Kage's son, part 3. So I think I could make a remake of this one, but if you want me to make a remake of this part, you can just tell me in the comments. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Yeah, hope you have a good day. Bye.